What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome to my 2018 Money in the Bank predictions video happening this Sunday on the WWE Network. We have 10 announced matches on the card, and one match that was teased but isn't actually confirmed as of Thursday at like 3 o'clock as I record this. So I don't know if the Raw Tag Team titles are actually going to be defended at Money in the Bank on Sunday. They might not. But regardless, we have 10 matches to discuss here on the show today, beginning with your kickoff match, the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Club on SmackDown for those SmackDown Tag Team titles, and it's on the kickoff. And to be fair, the Club has totally won tag titles on a kickoff show before. That has happened. So I wouldn't put that past them, but at the same time, if they're building the Bludgies as your most dominant tag team on SmackDown, and you've kind of put your SmackDown tag team into a bit of shambles here, and I don't think you would perhaps debut Sanity on the pre-show, so that leaves the Bludgeon Brothers defending and retaining their tag team titles. Anyway, on to a very long main show. The first of your second co-branded. We only have one of these a month now, so it's been a while since I've actually done a predictions video. Welcome back. And we have a very large main card here. It includes Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn in a feud that has pretty much soured a lot of folks on Lashley. It really, really has. He came in with such hype and promise, and it's like, here's this Sami Zayn feud who doesn't believe you have sisters or we're in the military. That's your whole feud. And look, I love Sami Zayn. He does great work. And he is trying to make, as they say, chicken salad out of chicken shit. But it's not really going well. So, Bobby Lashley, all the way here. I like Sami Zayn, but he is the smarmy heel who is going to get what's coming to him on this show. And speaking of smarmy heels who are going to get what's coming to them again on this show, we have Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass for a second time for some unknown reason. Big Cass was supposedly been in the doghouse for a number of reasons backstage and got eviscerated and was working a potential small injury angle for a little bit there, and apparently not actually injured with his knee and such. So, again, the promos from Big Cass about this were like, you have never faced anyone the size of me. And I'm like, you guys fought at Backlash. You already had a match. So yes, he already fought somebody the size of you, Big Cass. This already happened once, and I don't see Big Cass winning this match. I think Daniel Bryan, once again, eviscerates Big Cass, and that is all she wrote. Because at some point, you need to start building towards a Daniel Bryan and The Miz matchup, perhaps for SummerSlam, as a big marquee money match. Get Bryan away from Big Cass, I beg you. Unless he's not going to re-sign. Because if he's not going to re-sign by September, then sure, they're going to bury him and be like, no, well, now he's worthless. Well, joke's on them. He can still do huge numbers outside of WWE. Just look at All In. So, there's that. In any event, I'm calling Daniel Bryan because I'm hoping he re-signs and we get this match for SummerSlam between The Miz and Daniel Bryan. So, at some point, build that damn thing, because, come on, seriously. Anyway, moving on, as Joe is mostly unopposed here, but Braun is still in the building. We have the match that is going to get the most heat in Chicago on Sunday, and that is going to be the big dog, Roman Reigns, versus the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. Which, that crowd is... There's a couple of options here, right? That crowd can totally cheer Jinder. They can go absolutely nuts for cheering Jinder, while also booing Roman Reigns, right? Number two, they can just boo them both. I've certainly heard that "you both suck" chant that's been going around. That has happened. Three, they could just chant CM Punk the whole time. They were in Chicago. That could happen. Either way, expectations for this match are pretty much zero. So hey, they could surprise us. But given the rumors that you have them fighting again at Extreme Rules in a month, because you're in a holding pattern, because Brock Lesnar is nowhere to be found, then I think that Jinder wins this one with the interference of a Singh Bro. And hey, isn't the other Singh Bro almost ready to come back from his injury? Could you have another surprise Singh brother that cost Roman this match somehow? So I'm going to go Jinder, only because if Roman just stomps Jinder into the ground, then why would they have another match at Extreme Rules? If you have Roman in this holding pattern, waiting for Brock to come back for SummerSlam to win the belt from Brock, then, you know, you gotta have him do something on TV for another month or so. So I'm gonna say Jinder. I'm gonna say perhaps surprise Singh Bro return, and that could be interesting. But no, that match is gonna get booed out of the damn building. That leaves our mystery, is it gonna happen or not match, which is Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy, the Leaders of Worlds, versus the B Team. I'm only putting this in here in case they announce it in the next 2 days before the show. And I don't think, as much as I like the B Team, I don't think they're going to win the belts here. So, is what it is. So, Bray and Matt retain, because I think having them lose and then break up, I don't want to see more Bray and Matt feuds. They did a lot of that, so I don't know. Anyway, back into actually announced matchups for this show. We have the Intercontinental Championship. Seth freaking Rollins, the Architect, your IC champion, versus Elias, the Drifter, if you will. Who wants to walk with Elias? And this match, I'm sure, will be excellent. I have no doubts those guys can work a awesome match, and certainly Seth Rollins has been on the run of his life at the moment, putting on just stellar matchups that have an urgency and that kind of thing, right? So, Elias is pretty good in the ring, and certainly being in there with Seth will totally elevate him, and that should be a good contest. However, I think that at the end of the day, Seth freaking Rollins continues being the man on Raw, because Brock isn't there. Good God, do not superplex Braun off this ladder, because holy crap. Miz, you're not strong enough for that, come on now. You're not, he's a super heavyweight, Miz. He's like, I can't do it, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Braun is too big, Braun is too strong. Anyway, moving on. We have your SmackDown. Oh, good God, that's not gonna happen at Raw. Oh, that ladder is glitching out. You know, I haven't turned on 2K18 in probably a month and a half now, and the first match back I do, the ladder glitches out, because this game is buggy as hell, and I don't really have high hopes for this year's game either, because it's gonna be buggy as hell. Just write that down, and let me know in October. Anyway, or I'll let you know in October. We have the Princess of Staten Island, your SmackDown Women's Champion, Carmella, versus, there goes the ladder, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. And this one might hinge upon, there you go, Joe brought it home. That match might hinge upon these rumors going around on the appearance of one James Ellsworth, the Big Hog. And if there's any way for Carmella to retain that title, it's going to be because of James Ellsworth. Because in a straight-up one-on-one match, Asuka is going to destroy Carmella. But you add in the Chinless Wonder, and then maybe she manages to retain that thing somehow. Or she just kicks off Ellsworth's head and then still wins that belt. But I'm going to say that Carmella retains that title. Meanwhile, over on the Raw side, we have your champion, Nia Jax. Is she a face? Is she a heel? Who knows? Fighting Rowdy Ronda Rousey in her second match ever in WWE, and it is for the Raw Women's title. And I know a lot of folks are assuming, oh, they're just going to push her to the moon, she's going to be champ, she's going to be unbeatable until she has to fight Charlotte next year at Mania, or some, combination of those discussions. But I feel like what they're building towards here is very much a Stone Cold Vince McMahon type of relationship between Ronda Rousey and Steph. So it'd make all the sense in the world for Nia, if they're actually going to have her be heel again, because the face thing's kind of not gone great, to be the corporate champion. And so somehow, someway, Stephanie screws Ronda on her first title shot for the Raw Women's title, and Nia retains. So that is my personal prediction on that one, but honestly, it could go either way. I really don't know. So, moving on. we have your WWE Champion. The face who runs the place, the champ who runs the camp, the house that AJ Styles built. AJ Styles, SmackDown Live, still fighting the artist, the rock star, the king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura, who has just been obsessed with the Nutshot City, baby. And this is a last man standing match, I think, considering how many nutshots, it should have been called Balls Count Anywhere. Just saying. So, that being said, do they finally give this to Nakamura? It's been so many title defenses in the last several months since WrestleMania, right? Do you finally make it happen? Because if you don't, then what do you do with Nakamura past that? I feel like this kind of match is perfect for being able to have AJ Styles lose, but then not actually get pinned. Because obviously it's last man standing. And basically, you can keep somebody looking strong and have some nonsense finish where they get pinned by some other nefarious means and such. For example, when Chris Jericho totally defeated Kane in a last man standing by pushing a giant stack of barrels on top of him and he couldn't get up. So, you know, there's that. So, I think that, and as I've predicted here for the last couple of matches, give the belt to Nakamura. Let him have it for a month, see how it goes. Like, I like Styles, but we can't keep having this match over and over again, right? So, we either need to have the belt on somebody else, or have a different contender. Or, there could be a Money in the Bank cash-in, depending on how the match order goes. Like, if this match is actually last, if it is the main event, then you could see a cash-in at some point. You could see AJ retaining, and then immediate cash-in, and then new feud. Now, what happens to Nakamura past that? I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, that being said, we move into our Money in the Bank matchups for the evening. We have two. The first being the ladies, and it is Charlotte Flair, Ember Moon, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Natalya, Sasha Banks, and Lana for some reason. At the start, you just cross off Lana. I don't see that happening. It's not going to be Lana Day, even if Lana is the best, Lana number one, and such. No. Just no. So, then you get into, well, if you're going to have these two Money in the Banks, right, and the winner has to cash in on their respective brands, to me, much like how you had the Royal Rumble for the men and the women, means that one Raw Superstar is going to win and one SmackDown Superstar is going to win. You're not going to have both briefcases on the same show. Much like you're not going to have both Battle Royal trophies on the same show. Right? It wasn't the Rumble, it was the Battle Royals at Mania. I misspoke. Anyway, either way, you don't want to have them both on the same show. That would be awkward. So, that being said, for the women, the other consideration here is you want to have a heel win. You want your heel winner to chase or to potentially cash in nice right through that ladder. Ember Moon doing it well. So, ideally you have a heel win to tease the cash in on your face champion, because that makes the most sense in the world. So for the women here, I'm going to say probably it will be Alexa Bliss. Like, consider everything that they handed to Alexa Bliss. That would not surprise me. Now, granted, if you're turning Nia heel, that wouldn't make any sense. So, even at that, it seems likely that that's going to go to Alexa Bliss. I don't really see, maybe Natalya, if you had Ronda win the belt and then have a turn for Natalya, who's heel turned so many times at this point that it's kind of inconsequential. But just looking at this list of people in this match, I'm going to say off the top of my head, Alexa Bliss. But hey, we'll see. This one actually is one of the harder matches to predict on this card. And that brings us to, potentially, the actual main event of the show, your men's Money in the Bank. And those 8 competitors are The Miz, Rusev, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Bobby Roode, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and one member of the New Day, and we don't know which member that's gonna be just yet. And my personal prediction for that is going to be Big E. He was in that match I had here on the game here earlier. So I'm going to say Big E is their chosen one. But here's the thing. If New Day were heels, and obviously they're not, but if they were, this match is no disqualification. So your buddies could totally get involved, and it wouldn't matter. They could help you win. That could happen. Of those 8 guys, who wins? Well, again, if you're going to have Alexa Bliss from Raw win the briefcase, then somebody from SmackDown wins that briefcase, which makes way more sense because Brock Lesnar is never around. So why even have a Raw guy win it? If a Raw guy won it, it'd probably be Kevin Owens, but I don't see a Raw guy winning it because your champion never on the show. Hard to build that story, those cash-ins, if Brock shows up 3 freaking times a year. Which to me means SmackDown. And if anybody on SmackDown would be a dastardly heel with a cash-in where you would have a believable cash-in, it'd be Joe. So I'm going to say Joe. Like, as much as I would love for it to be Rusev Day. Every day. Because it's Rusev Day every day. I just don't see them giving a world title run to Rusev. And I would like to hopefully see these cash-ins be successful. Build new stars. Have them cash in, have them be champion, see how it goes. You don't have to have a long run, just have them be champion for a little bit and see how it goes. So, I'm going to say Joe, because Joe is definitely credible 110%. And I know, it's like, well, what about Braun Strowman? Braun Strowman does not need a briefcase. Braun Strowman is a monster among men who can get shots when he wants shots because he's Braun Strowman. So, that just rule that all the way out. Doesn't really matter. So, there you go. I'm going to say Joe in that match. And that's going to be it. I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching this whole ridiculous video. More videos every day. And I'll see you next time. Right here on this channel. And I'm out.